Hey people, welcome back to my channel. I know I didn't do a proper introduction of myself in the last tutorial I posted, which wasn't so cool. I mean, you guys should know who is behind this. My name is Ajala Victor. I am the founder and the lead designer of AV Studios Nigeria with over 11 years of design experience. I've taken it upon myself to share from my wealth of experience with both beginners and intermediates on how to create functional brand identities and also evolve as a good brand identity designer, which is the main purpose of creating this channel. It will interest you to know that I will be tackling client questioning, understanding of briefs, research, sketching, vectorizing, and presentation. And as time goes on, and as I learn new things, I'll always bring it up here for everybody to learn. Because what's the purpose of gaining the knowledge and not sharing it? I mean, I believe in growing and let other people grow, which is my own definition of success. I grow as much as possible and help as much as possible person to grow. Do endeavor to subscribe and turn on the notification to this channel just so you don't miss out on any tutorial. Thank you. So today we'll continue from where we stopped the last time, which is the continuation of the Nuland logo design. This video should expose you to colors. I mean, picking the right colors for the right brand, typography, the type of fonts to use for a particular brand, and also the presentation. I don't know if this video will be enough for you because I don't want it to be so lengthy. And if it's not enough, I'll definitely split it into two. We take part of it in this video and another part in the next video. So tag along as we dive right in. Okay, this was where we stopped the last time. And as we can remember, the logo is for an investment brand. Yeah. So here is our logo. The first thing I want to do now is I want to work on the typography or the fonts. So, I already completed this logo, and the font I used was Geometry Sans. Yes. It's okay to explore other types of fonts and see the one that works best. And for this type of brand, investment brand, you can easily just go onto Google and search. Okay, let me just go onto Google and search investment brands logo. And let's see the results we have from Google. You see, most of the fonts we are seeing here are strong fonts, sans serif font. So as you can see, they are sans serif fonts. Look at this, sans serif. Okay, now let's just search for investment brand. Also, you can see Fidelity, you can see Vanguard. Just search for each brand separately and see their approach on their brand and the type of logos they use. For Fidelity, you see it's a sans serif font. Yeah. So okay, having realized that, we can therefore go ahead and also check Behance. Just go to Behance and search investment brands. Then after getting enough results, then you can go ahead and choose your fonts. We have different types of sans serif fonts. Area is a sans serif font. We have Poppins. So I used Geometry here. I used Geometry. Yeah, that's the font I used. I used Geometry. I think I used this. Yes, this was the font I used. Then one thing we should always keep at the back of our mind is, if you are using a monoline approach, the width of your icon should be almost the same with the width of your typography or the width of your text. What I'm saying in essence is, if you look at the width of this is the width of each stroke. It's fatter than the width of our text. Yeah, so that means this typography doesn't work. So what I simply did was to add outline to it, or stroke. So I can just increase the stroke width. Let's see, 8, let's say 10, 12, 13. It's not necessary it is totally accurate. Okay, let me convert my text to curve. Convert to curve. Then you know the outline is still there. I can now separate the outline from the objects. So this is the outline has already choked the object. So I can just select both the outline and the object together, then I weld it together. Now, having done that, this is the stroke of the logo compared to the stroke of the typography. I think this is fair enough. It doesn't necessarily have to be equal. It doesn't have to be the same thing, but just make sure it is not so slim. I don't know if you understand. Just make sure it's not so slim. So I'm okay with this, and with this being done, it makes my font a bit custom. It's not like the original font. This is the original font here. Let me change this to the original font. This is the original font. Now look at our font of the one I'm using now. If you look at this original font, here has more depth than here. You understand? So now, because I feel like the height of this alphabet L is too long, I'll just cut it short. All I just did is I selected both. I created a rectangle and I selected it with the typography. Then I click on trim. So I just trimmed it off. There are other ways to do that. You can also use your shape tool, select the notes up here, then you drag it downwards. So okay, like this, I feel it's okay. Now another thing you should pay attention to is the kerning. What I mean by the kerning is the space in between each character. As you can see, the space here is not equal to the space here, and it's not equal to the space here, not here. So you have to make sure you justify the spaces. If you're using a free font that you want to turn into a custom font, you have to look out for that, because most free fonts has bad kernings. So let me get rid of this. Now what I have to do is I have to draw a rectangle. Drawing the rectangle now, I have to move it down here, duplicate it down here, so that we can, let me change the color red. So now we can see I have to move this to this line. So all I just have to do is to use my shape tool to select all the notes down here, then I move it. You feel me? Yeah, then I do the same thing here. Select all the notes, then I move it. Do the same thing again here. As you can see, everything is not equal. That's how bad free fonts can be. So yeah, the spaces are now equal. The spaces are now equal. Another thing I want to ensure is accurate. I'm this kind of person that I'm big on accuracy. Is here the height of each character, is it the same? Now if you look at this is popping out a little bit, so I just have to adjust it a bit. just select the notes up here and drag it towards here, and that's it. So having done that, it kind of disrupts the perfect circle that's inside. It's not noticeable, but then you can leave it. You can just delete this note. It's not noticeable, so you can just leave it. Then let's make sure it's the same thing under. As you can see, the U is popping out, the A is popping out also. We can work on that. The U, use your shape tool, then you drag it up. And you do the same thing for alphabet A. The alphabet A might be a bit technical, but just do it also. Yeah. Then you have to pull this back down. That's where it comes to the base. Yeah, so as you can see, the alphabet A is now, the inner part is now having some kind of spare. I can fix that by drawing a circle. I'll put a circle at the center. Then I'll use my, let me change to red outline. Let me reduce the stroke to, let's say, 1 point, so I can see it. So now I'll just use my smart fill to fill up this part. As you can see, I just filled up that part. Yes, then I can make it color black. Then weld it with this. Weld it together with. So that's it. That makes my A perfect. So now my typography is ready. Now look at this is before. Let's see. No, this is after adjusting the kerning and all. And this is before. This is before. This is after. Can we see the clear difference? Yeah, the difference is there, and it's glaring that yes, we adjusted something. So that's it. I'll disregard this now, and yeah, now my typography is ready. Now another thing we should pay attention to is the ratio of the icon to the typography. Now looking at this, if we justify it like this looks perfect. But then you will see some other designers do something like this because they don't have the knowledge yet. You see the icon very big and the typography is small. It's a poor presentation. It's a poor icon to text ratio. Now, to determine the actual height, you pay attention to number one thing, the height of your character, your text. For example, now the highest height of this is this. So if your logo is going to be big, it shouldn't be taller than this. I don't know if you get me. And let's assume your logo doesn't have a tall alphabet like this. Let's get rid of this. Let's assume your logo doesn't have a tall character like this. It still works. Okay, your icon shouldn't be way too bigger than your typography. So you just have to do a check and balance with your eye and see, okay, this works. And in other cases, if your logo is going to be used on the vertical manner, yeah, like this, your logo will be here. Let's assume this is like this. Let's assume this is like this. Now in this case, it is okay for you to make sure you duplicate this here and then this here. You can change the color. Now your typography shouldn't be wider than from ear to ear. I don't know if you feel me. The typography shouldn't be wider than this. So that makes it balanced. Okay, and the space between ear and ear should be very reasonable. Not that you move your logo far away from it and it looks like they are trying to lay emphasis on social distancing. No, so it should be somewhere close but not too close. And if there's going to be a tagline, the tagline goes here. But most corporate brands these days don't put their tagline under their logo. It is only in some rare cases that you see them use their tagline, maybe for advertisement or something. So the tagline goes here. So this is it. This is the vertical version and this is the horizontal version. But then this is supposed to be an L, so just put it back up. It still works. So this is the vertical version and this is the horizontal version. So that settles our typography. And quickly I want to jump into the color. So now we go back again to Google or Behance. Behance is my go-to place. Investments. Most times I just go onto Behance, search for branding. It gives you many results. You go to Google also, investments, brands, logo. You see a lot of colors they use. You see blue, you see green, you see orange. You see stuff related to investment is arrow going up, you know. And in investment, if you agree with me, there's always this chart. You can decide to say, okay, we know this chart now. Now this is the highest of it, and I think this should be green. If you agree with me, that means it's on the high side. This is like, let's say like orange, and this is close to yellow, and this is like red. That means the investment is low. If you agree with me, yeah? Yeah, so let's also see what we have in Google. We have orange, we have blue, we have green, we have blue. We can also search brand colors for investment companies. So let's see the results we have from Behance. Search for investment branding. You can see lots of them. You can see yellow, you can see blue, you can see green, you can see gold, see red, see blue. Now let's go back to what we have from Google. See what we have from Google. I'm seeing orange, I'm seeing green, I'm seeing gray. You see? So once you have a specific direction on the color you want to use, let's say for example I want to use this palette, I can just copy this palette straight into my workspace. Okay, so I have green, I have orange, I have gray, I have black. Okay, so I decided to go with orange as the primary color, which is this. So I can just pick it up with my color picker. And other times I can also, having gotten the right color palette I want to use, I have this website I do go to, coolers.co. So from coolers.co, you will see lots of color palettes. I don't know if you understand me. Let this load. You see lots of colors. You see lots of colors on this website. The network is a bit shitty. And from there you can pick a color palette that you like. And if you're the kind of person that I want to use, for example, for this brand now, I used a gradient for the icon. So my gradient is a mixture of orange and a bit yellow. So now this is it. I used orange. Let's say I'm picking from this orange, and then I used yellow. I'm just going to add yellow to this orange just to make the variation. So all I just have to do is hold my control button and click on yellow. So yeah, these are the two colors I will be using to create. So let me just fill in this with this. Then I go to my interactive fill, drag it towards the direction I want it to go. Then I change this color, this particular color, to the yellow. This. So basically, I can just change the direction. Then I think I'll go with this orange instead. Yeah. So basically that's it. So that's how I got my gradients. And now the second color, which is gray, I can decide to use this gray or this. So I'll just go with this. Yeah, so that settles it. That's my logo. So I can also copy the attributes here. Copy this attribute here. Yeah, so that's it. Basically. So I've come to the end of the typography and color. So on the next tutorial, I will go ahead with the presentation. I think the presentation is a whole lot, so I think I should just make a separate video for that. So I'll be stopping this video here right now. Thank you very much for your time. Please do make sure you subscribe to this channel. Invite your friends to tag along to learn with you. Remember what I said in the introductory video? I said I believe in growing and allowing other people to grow. My definition of success is growing and helping as much as possible persons to grow. So that being said, subscribe, invite friends to subscribe, and turn on post notification. So that's the end of today's tutorial. Thank you very much for your time.